Welcome, one and all, in here, out there, to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. Folks, you hear that, Louis?
Yeah.
You hear that? That is the sound of people who have been liberated. Because thanks to Donald Trump, America is finally free from the tyranny of being able to buy stuff from other countries. Who's ready to learn how to make their own iPad from scratch?
Good evening, Stephen, and welcome to The Late Show, where today topic rise important question about the global trade dynamics. I'm Julia Morales, and tonight we had a special guest.
And I'm Alicia Vega. Today we'll be focusing on the economic impact of U.S. tariff on Chinese imports, a topic that is particularly relevant given current global tensions and supply chain instability.
From an economic standpoint, it is crucial to consider both the intended and unintended consequence on this trade policy. Joining us now is Dr. Elena Ruiz, an economist from the Global Market Institute. Welcome, Dr. Ruiz.
Thank you for having me.
Dr. Ruiz, let's dive right in. According to a recent New York Times article from April 2024, based on U.S. Census Bureau data, American companies pay over $153 billion in tariffs since 2018. That's a staggering figure. How do you interpret this data?
Well, Alicia, this is clearly illustrated by the ongoing US-China trade conflict. As a result of these tariffs, several consequences have emerged. For one, production costs for US companies increased significantly, and particularly in sectors like manufacturing and agriculture.
That leads us to a key question. Who really benefits? While the policy aimed to protect American industry, it seems many companies were forced to raise prices or move operations elsewhere.
Exactly. This strategy might appear effective, but in reality, it has put pressure on small and medium-sized businesses, unlike larger corporations. These firms don't have the resources to absorb higher costs or shift supply chains quickly.
And consumers too are feeling the squeeze. A Harvard Business Review analysis noted that prices on affected goods rose by nearly 20%, suggesting that the burden was largely passed onto American households.
It's interesting. On the one hand, tariffs were framed as a tool for economic sovereignty. On the other hand, they had ripple effects far beyond domestic borders.
Absolutely. While some nations have benefited from redirect trade, like Vietnam and Mexico, others, especially low-income countries, depends on China's export, have been disproportionately affected. This may be interpreted as a form of economic pressure with complex and geopolitical undertones.
Let's talk solutions. If the US were to reduce this tariff tomorrow, what would be the likely outcome?
If tariffs were reduced, assuming stable diplomatic relations, it's likely that supply chains would gradually readjust. However, some of the structural changes, such as the new supplier contracts and relocated factories, might be irreversible in the short term, that the nuanced policy markers must grapple with.
Hughes and add while tariffs were introduced with protected intention, they had created a network of consequence economic, political, and social.
And with global trade continue to evolve, it's vital to keep asking, are we adapting or merely reacting?
In conclusion, The impact of U.S. tariffs go far beyond trade metrics. Understanding these dynamics, it's not only vital for economics, but for all citizens navigating a globalized world.
Dr. Elena Reese, thank you so much for your insight.
That's it for tonight's tariff talk. Stay informed and stay critical.
Thank you so much.
Good night.